Hello and welcome to this preview of Queen's Wish: The Conqueror. We are looking at a classical RPG from Spiderweb software in the version 1.0, which might be a bit misleading as the game is not released yet and this is a beta version. The final game will release on the 11th or 12th of September, which I guess is depending on where you are living, as my Steam account shows the 12th of September, but the 11th of September is what you get when you Google for it. So I guess it's midnight, and it will be the 11th in the US when it's already the 12th in Europe or something like that. So the price of the game will, I guess, be around 20 euros or dollars, which is, I think, the price of his previous games. Like, Spiderweb previously did the Abaddon and Avernum games, but Spiderweb software, which is basically a one-man company around Jeff Vogel, and he is doing RPGs for the last, I think, 20 years or so, 30 years maybe even. So yeah, he is doing classical RPGs all the time, and I played the last 6 of them, and I always like the hard difficulty if you choose the hardest settings and the nice writing. The game, however, is kind of low-end, low budget, and he funded this game via Kickstarter, which is the first Kickstarter he did, and he gathered 98,992 US dollars doing this Kickstarter, which unfortunately was, I think, not enough to get the full in-game music. So unfortunately the music will only be present on the main menu and not in the game. I pledged $20 for this Kickstarter, but this version of the game is not the Kickstarter key. This is a press version which I received from Spiderweb's press agency, and the only thing, the only requirement is to point out that you can get the game on Steam when it's released, and to recommend that you should wishlist it if you are interested in this game. So now we will take a look at the game itself. First we will take a look into the instructions, just like that it's there. It's basically a kind of a manual with some information about different interface options, and there's also Jeff Vogel also mentions like some in-game mechanics now and then in these games, like how different damage is calculated. So it might be worth a read. I did not read through all of this though yet. And the promise or the idea of that game is also that you have some base building in comparison to his previous games. Yeah, then we get to the settings, the solution of the game, the resolution of the game, and if you play in windowed or full screen, will be set when you start the game. And then we've got the walking animation, the scrolling speed, the warning before pausing combat, which I'm not so sure about yet what that means. Then you can set what the arrow keys will do, which will, the standard is that they will actually move your group around, which I found a bit weird. So I switched it to scroll the terrain view instead, so I will scroll around with these keys. Usually I use WASD for that, but unfortunately that is not an option in this game, so you have to use either the arrow keys or you have to scroll on the edge of the screen, which is also a bit annoying because if you are using multiple screens like I'm doing, there is no mouse lock. So if you, in my case, I have a screen to the left, so I go with the cursor to the left, I am outside of the screen, and if I click accidentally on the taskbar, which is left of my screen, then I will minimize the game, which is not so nice. So yeah, you can either use the arrow keys, you can scroll at the edge, or you click on the minimap to zoom around. And you can set on or off if the screen moves around by itself if you move the party. Then you have window size is at startup, the draw distance is, you can really, if you have a really old machine, you can even play it on that by even lowering some options in the game, in the settings here, and also when you start up the game. And then we have the sound settings, which I'm also not a big fan of, because you can only set it between off, quiet and normal. And well, for a normal playing, this probably isn't a big issue, but especially if you're doing a video for it, it's a bit annoying because you always have to reduce your Windows sound, you have to change OBS, because you cannot adjust it to a level where you can comfortably listen to that and record it, and then the video will also have a nice mix about like the voiceover and the music quality. So that is always annoying. I always like to have some sliders, which if in the best scenario are also not set at 100%, or let's start with normal levels, because then you're also running into problems. Anyways, yeah, this is a bit limited. You have the background sounds on and off, and you can set some options for the keyboard. And from the menu itself, you can already see that it's very similar to what you saw in the previous games. This game, however, will have a new engine, and this is one reason he did the Kickstarter project, to fund the game with a different engine. And this engine will look a bit different. If it's really looking better though, I would say that in the Kickstarter video I actually had the impression that it looked a bit worse. Now in the game, yeah, it looks okay-ish, but yeah, it has its pros and cons. But yeah, we will look into the game now. I've talked enough about it. Now we will get into the game. Create a character. We can select a name and change the skin color. We can change the gender. We can change the face, the hairstyle, the hair color, and extra details like scar or a beard. So I will take this one and then start with the game on Torment, of course. So, the Empire of Haven rules a full eighth of the known world. Queen Sharon III rules Haven absolutely. Her oldest son will become king someday. Her oldest daughter is Sharon's sage and most trusted advisor. Queen Sharon III, your mother. Queen Sharon III buys the loyalty of all the small nations she can reach. If they refuse her, Haven is wealthy enough to pay armies to make them her vassals. None of this concerns you. You have lived a life in comfort, hiding from the responsibilities that ever threaten to crush you. You've had a peaceful life of decadence. Until today. This preview will only be for about an hour though, and I will do a full Let's Play when the game releases, but this Let's Play will then be in German, as this is the usual language I'm doing videos on this channel. Well, and I accidentally scrolled away. So yeah, now we are in the game. These are the game's graphics, and they look similar to what the previous games had, but also a little bit different. Like, it's a bit more... it looks a little bit more like RPG Maker, I would say, which is something I don't like, but in the end, it's okay-ish. You can also see that the sprites of the characters, they only have 4 directions, like to the left bottom, right bottom, right top, and left top, so the character cannot look to the left. And we have lots of dialogues. Your older sister, Princess Dahlia, stands by the floor, watching you. She has, on her best, reassuring expression. Good morning, young prince. I'm sorry for disturbing you. It's almost noon. What's going on? Is something wrong? Our mother wishes to see you immediately. Get dressed. Go to the throne room. Now. Fine, what's going on? I have no idea, she lies. No lying in bed all day for you, I'm afraid. Hurry. Out into the hall. On your way, she insists. Oh no, what does mother want? I would not presume to speak for our queen. I advise, don't order. Get going. Fine, I'm going. I'll get there when I get there. Yeah, we are playing a spoiled brat basically. So let's just go with that. I'll get there when I get there. Princess Delia steps to the side. You expect the standard nagging. Instead, she looks you in the eyes. She's sad. What's going on here today? Yeah. To open a door or a box, select it. Select objects to use them and select chests and containers to see what's inside. Now select the door on the west to open it. Yeah, we will be able to do that. As you stumble out of your bedroom, the royal insignia of Haven slowly fades into being on the chest of your jerkin. This happens no matter what you wear. Always, even when you don't want it to. It's a fairly simple bit of magic worked on you and your siblings by your mother. She insists that you bear the chest of heaven everywhere you go. Something about the mystique of the royal house, which I think is a nice thing, that you have something like it. The game is really like close to the story. It's very logical in itself. Also the previous games like Avernum, which was a game where you have to where you're a prisoner and you were thrown into an underground cave thing, and you had to escape somehow. It made a really plausible scenario on how this underground economy worked. And also with the other game, Abaddon, where you're playing in a basically a police state and you have to decide what's going on there, and how things are handled. They're really like, it's a kind of a simple story, but you are basically in full control about, or at least you have a good view about everything. You're not full control, but you know what's going on, and everything makes sense. So this is like, we have this crest, this magical crest on our chest, which will signify that we are in this house, that we are of noble heritage, and I guess we will not be able to just sneak around, but we will, everywhere we go, it will show we are this like highborn, and spread the word of our house and bring the will of our house into the other lands. You try to open the door, only to find it is locked. This makes no sense. You are a Prince of Haven. No chambers are ever locked to you, except those of Queen Sharon herself. And the other one? Another locked door. In your short life, you have become an expert at finding ways to sneak out of the palace. Yet, somehow, all of your regular escape routes have been blocked. Okay, and we'll take this door, and we're getting to training room. This is the dueling hall. For centuries, when a dispute could not be settled peacefully, lords and ladies of Haven came here to resolve arguments in the most final way. A man is waiting for you. You are shocked to see your older brother, Prince Sutter. He is next in line to the throne, and he's almost never in Sharon's palace anymore. He has too much to do. Okay, let's look around here. The throne room is just ahead on the left. You groggily enter the dueling hall, hoping to get this ordeal quickly over with. Someone moves to stand in your way. It is your older brother, Prince Sutter, back from some war or other urgent business of Haven's empire. He walks up, gives you his standard hearty grin, and says, "Greetings, Prince." "Welcome home, Sutter." "Hello, Sutter, back from some marvelous bit of heroism?" "Wait, you're here too? What's going on?" "It's back from some marvelous bit of heroism?" "Someone has to help run Haven's empire, Kordanor. Many lives outside these luxurious walls depend on us. But that doesn't mean I can't take the occasional break for family. That is why I rushed home when Mother told me of the glorious event." "Glorious event?" He ignores the question. That aggravating grin is still on his face. He nods toward the box by the north wall. A demonstration, I suppose. All must take part. Your sword is in the box. Get it ready and ready it. That sword, I'd rather not. He gives you the look. The terrifying look he reserves for underlings who fail him. He is supposed to make you quiver in terror. It doesn't. It hasn't worked on you since you were 4. He shrugs. Kordanor, you best play along. This all won't end until you do. Select the balls to take the sword out of it. You can see what items your character has and equip. Use these items by pressing the inventory button to get items out of a box. Select the box. Select the box by the north wall to get your sword. Yeah. Bloop. To move or quick the item selected, then select where you want it to go. In the inventory window, select the sword and then select the equip area to use the sword. And now we click on the sword and now it's like hovering a bit and we equip it. Yeah. And yeah, that's the inventory screen, which changed quite a bit, I guess, to the other games where you always had it like all in the center, and now I guess you have an unlimited inventory. I'm not sure about that. Ah, no, never mind. I will get to that later. Sutter sees that the sword is ready. He laughs. Well, Kordanor, let us see how useful your expensive education was. He claps his hands. There is a puff of smoke in the center of the dueling hall. A moment later, a giant horrible spider has appeared. As Sutter laughs hardly, the thing lunges toward you. Back to the inventory. I think this is the only stuff you're carrying around with you. So you might have a very limited inventory actually. But I'm not sure. I mean, this bar is huge. And that's one of the advancement over the previous games where you were very limited with what you can do with the interface. So yeah, you have tons of slots here now. I hope that they also switch between characters, but we will see about that. So now we have a trapdoor spider, and we will engage in combat, and it attacks first. To attack as a foe, select the space it's standing in. To use an ability, push this button. You are in combat. You and your foes will take turns. Each turn you get several action points. Moving and using abilities or items drains these. When you run out, your turn ends. To attack a foe, select the space it is standing in. Try out one of your cool abilities. Press the use ability button. And yeah, the cursor, maybe you see it now, it's really annoying me with the switching forward and back between the game cursor and the Windows cursor. I also tried like getting into windowed mode or so, but it always stays that way. So yeah, we open the abilities. We have 3 abilities at the moment. The Brutal Blow. Your next attack with your weapon, melee or missile, will do 25% extra damage. Damage bonus 25%. Bleeding for 3 turns. Doesn't seem to have a cooldown. Then we have the Whirlwind attack, which is an AoE. And we have the Blinding Blow, which also weakens the foe for 5 turns. So we will use that one and hit the spider with it. Weakness and evade it. And I can also check out these quick slots. Select, set an... okay, now we can like put our abilities on this thing. And now just one hit will be enough. Yeah. Press this button to leave combat mode. You're victorious. To exit combat mode, press the end button, end combat button to the lower left. After this battle, you can bandage your wounds. In the future, to heal your wounds and restore your energy, you will need to use an inn or return to one of Haven's forts. Okay. Out of combat. And talk to the guy again. To our brother. Sutter nudges the dead spider with his toe. As you bandage your wounds, he says, "Not too bad, Prince. Your education left you with some practical skills, I see." "Are you mad? That thing tried to kill me!" Sutter laughs and claps you on the shoulder. "My position as heir to the throne requires me to be fearless, Kordanor. You will have to be the same. Enough delays. It is time." Time? You hear a click from the west door. The door to the throne room. Mother awaits. Then let's meet Mother. The throne room is west. Sharon's palace. You enter the throne room to find court is fully in session. Your mother, Queen Sharon, sits ramrod straight on a customary stool. Guards surround her. They look at you with their customary disdain. The queen waves you forward. Prince Kordanor, please, it is time for us to speak. Select a character to talk to it. Queen Sharon is waiting for you to talk to her. To begin conversation with a character selected. I have a gift for you. You come before Queen Sharon, total monarch of the Empire of Haven and all of the lands it owns. Savior of your people, scourge of your foes, and your mother. As you come close, she gives you a tiny nod. Prince or not, custom demands that you kneel now. Don't kneel. What do you want, mother? The royal guard becomes even more stiff and statue-like than usual, quietly shocked by this public display of insolence. Your mother isn't fazed, she is used to it. Well, my young prince, there is a matter we need to discuss. It is important. Sorry I'm a little off balance. The spider just tried to eat me. A tiny smile. Only one who has known her as long as you have would detect it. Satire and his pranks. Still, we had to make sure you are fully awake. Don't you usually do your business with my brother and sister? Let's get this over with then. Please don't be insolent, my child. Don't make this more difficult. For once, take the example of your brother and sister. Your current state is intolerable. I now have a job for you. A job? Why? We have done you a disservice. I see now that you will only work as hard, be as strong as you are forced to. You are, in other words, a normal person. This is no crime. Haven has bits of unfinished business waiting for us to have time and resources to tend to them. That time is now. Unfinished business? We had a valuable colony on the continent of Sacramentum, over the sea to the west. This colony was ruined in a great calamity. Strange forces destroyed our crops. Our vassal states rejected us. Only a few of our people remain there, hungry and besieged. I don't recognize the name. A lost colony, one you lost, if I recall. The guards grow nervous. For most people, saying those words here would mean time in the dungeons. For you, Sharon only shakes her head. Yes, they were lost on my watch. I will see now that my errors are corrected and our vassal states resume their duties to us. What does this have to do with me? In the garden to the west, you will find an enchanted portal. It will carry you to Sacramentum. There, you will take command of what is left of our colony. You will rebuild our forts, raise forces, and reclaim all the land we have lost. Wait, take over a whole continent? Me? Of course. You are a prince of Haven. That is the job you were born to do. It's what you do to earn the wealth you were born into. You will have all the resources you need. You must provide the others and the will. The orders and the will. I don't know anything about Sacramento. If the people... Yeah, immer das. That's alright. Heaven still has loyal servants there. They will greet you and teach you all you need to know. I know the prospect is painful, but you might also be helped by reading a book or two. If the people of Sacramentum don't want us to serve them, why should I force them? Because you are a prince of Haven. Your responsibility is to the people of Haven, to provide safety and security. That is the sacred task of our family. The 3 lands of Sacramentum signed treaties with us. They promised us things, and they didn't deliver. We can't allow this. Why are you doing this to me? Oh, my child, you are getting old, and time runs shorter than you know. Your life, your true life, must begin. This is the only solution. The portal waits for you. I refuse. I'm going back to bed. No, the orders have been given. You will have no rest, no entertainment, no food even. This must be done. And now. You hear a click from the door to the west. It is now unlocked. The portal is waiting. Oh, my child, I wish the best for you. Good fortune. Können wir noch mal mit der reden? Can we talk to her again? I'm falling back to German. You approach your mother. She shakes her head. No, Kordanor, the portal. Don't hesitate. That only gives fear time to poison you. Go. Be decisive. It is time. Okay, press gear button to save and load games, change settings, and quit. Now that you have made some progress. Did I really make progress? Also, I don't think that last time I got this, but I'm not sure. Now that you have made some progress, you might want to save the game. Press the gear button or press Ctrl S to reach the save game window. Queen's Wish automatically saves sometimes, but it's wise to make your own save games occasionally. You also can press F3 to make a quick save snapshot of your game. Press F4 later to reload it. I'm not sure why some games always break with the convention to use F5 to quick save and F9 to quick load, but yeah, you can set that yourself in the menu. So you can save the game here. Preview test, as I named it before. Game saved. And we can also use F3, quick save, done. And this is now using the arrow keys. We can also use the edge of the screen as mentioned before, which will also mean work for the left edge even if you go to the other screen. But then you need to be careful to not click on anything. And yeah, we go through the door. You stumble out into the West Hall, dazed. Nothing seems real. You wonder if this is all some prank. Then you see your sister waiting for you. Just ahead, you see the look on her face. This is entirely real. We tested the portal. Delia is waiting for you in the hall to the portal. As usual, she's infuriatingly concerned about your well-being. Kordanor, how are you? Are you alright? I don't know. I'm better than alright. I have power now. Can you get me out of this? This is a madness. I urged Queen Sharon to reconsider. She is determined. This will happen, Kordanor. Now, steel yourself. Be ready, little brother. What if someone there just kills me? Your mother is not so careless. You have had powerful protective enchantments placed on you, one after another, starting from birth. You will find you are powerful and very hard to kill. This is a small advantage, but I think you will need it. When can I come home? I don't know. I know there is a portal in Sacramentum. You can use it to speak with us, get information and advice. I believe you will be able to use it to get home. Eventually. You may need to find help to recharge it. Until then, you will have to deal with Sacramentum. I won't talk to any of you. Delia's hurt, as you knew she would be. I wish it hadn't come to this, Kordanor. Please don't forget that we love you. With one hand, she wipes her eyes. With the other, she points to the west. Go! And the next room. You spent much of your childhood playing in this garden. The stone portal to the north was always closed. You hid behind it 1,000 times. It was to be used for emergencies or missions of great importance. This is the very first time you have seen it open. For you. Your brother stands by it. Its raw energy makes his hand stand up. But we can also go through this door, the first door which actually opens. Yeah, I did this part already before, but not much more. So now we will open the chest here and find a wooden buckler and some coins. Now we have 100 coins. And yeah, what the other games also allowed was just grab stuff from the floor, and I think that's not what you can do in this game. So everything here is fixed objects. And I think we cannot open this one, right? No. All your regular escape routes have been blocked. No. Prince Sutter. Sutter waits by the portal with a stupid grin. You give him a good look. No, he's not faking it. The queen's her hair is truly enjoying this. Oh, cheer up, Kordanor. This is going to be glorious. You'll see adventures, exploration, the thrill of command, all with the full power and support of Haven behind you. Who will tend to me while I'm there? I can just refuse, you know? Nope. I'll throw you through the portal if I have to. We've kept you a child too long. It's time. Before you go, I have some advice. You can choke on your advice. Now, Sutter is really enjoying himself. He steps back. Suit yourself. Into the portal you go. I can't wait to see how things go. Yeah, we are rolling with a spoiled brat's character. And we go through the portal, and now we are in Haven. And we can hear some background noises. You stumble through this dusty room, trying to clear your head. Magical teleportation is infamous for causing dizziness and splitting headaches. You regain your senses and look around. You are in a fort. The walls are rough wood. This is a prison. Posts with chains line the walls, waiting for prisoners awaiting judgment. It is late at night and mostly quiet. And there's a wall. Oh, this is actually stairs. Okay. And there's the rest of the... It's a 2-story prison cell! Okay. Fort Haven. You emerge and get a look at the rest of the fort. You've landed in the right place. Soldiers of Haven built this place. However, most of the buildings have crumbled or been torn down for firewood. They will have to be rebuilt. There are no people inside. You hear a shout. Something is happening to the northeast. On screen, north is up, northeast. Northeast is up and to the right. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Yeah, it's basically like how this minimap is set, which, I mean, it's exactly like we see here. That's actually an advantage over the previous games. The previous games always had like this weird isometric look where this rotation of the map didn't really match the on-screen rotation, so that you always had to think about 45 degrees into a different direction. But yeah. What do we have here? You need to get permission from the chief for this fort before you can order for buildings to be rebuilt. Yeah, I think that sounds interesting. I always like that when you have like a castle or something to build, if it's done in an interesting way, or if it unlocks something interesting, and it's not just like cosmetical. I remember, like, I think it was in Might and Magic 4 or 5, where you had a castle and then you had like a crumbled a dungeon being dug out so you could enter the dungeon and so on. And I like that, and I think it's always a nice thing to have. If it's not like, oh, your fort needs 2 more shields to also avoid attacks, which will then play like a browser game, which then doesn't really add anything to the game. But yeah, let's see how this is going, and if we can actually do some meaningful decisions here. Chief Miranda. The main hall of this fort remains standing, old and worn down but intact. The chief of the fort stands out front, her back to the door, sword drawn. She is facing 2 brigands, shaggy brutes in leather jerkins, stalking her, daggers out. One of them says, "We know you've been giving payments to Brenton. The rusty barb will have its share, Miranda. You have never been too involved in the ways of Haven, but it is hard to see this treatment of your soldier and not be annoyed. Watch and listen." One of the brigands points a dagger at the chief. "We told you we need gold and food. Pay now or lose everything." The chief holds her sword steady. "Heaven is gone, but they will return. We will not be robbed." Clear your throat. The brigand doesn't hear you. He says to the chief, "Put that sword away, even if you kill us. Klokar will just send 20 more. And you know it." You clear your throat again. All 3 of them turn to look at you. "I am Prince Kordanor of Haven. Don't mind me, I'm just looking for a portal." The brigand look you over. "Well, don't let us stop you, kid. We'll need your blade and clothes, though." Chief Miranda stares at their backs. She's doing some very quick calculating. I guess it's good I was able to warm up. Attack. I really didn't mean to stumble into this. Back away. You start, back away. The brigands start to reconsider robbing you. You're not their main target after all. But then Miranda takes advantage of the distraction. She lunges at one of them. She is the chief of the fort. A manager, not a fighter. Happily, she seems competent with a blade. And yeah, now we have to fight. It would also be nice if you could completely disable the scrolling stuff. Wasn't that also possible to set somewhere? It doesn't look like it. Difficulty, walk animation, scrolling speed, normal, fast. No. Warning, arrow keys, scroll terrain, auto scroll terrain view while walking. No, we cannot disable that. And that one is something I will consistently doing by accident, I guess. So we will do the weakening attack, which is the other one. This one. Brigand. Bam. And then we will do the brutal blow. Bleeding. And he's dead. And he's dead as well. The brigands are dead. Miranda gives each of them a good kick. And we'll see to Clocker next. She turns to you, kneels and bows her head. I don't want to presume, but I think you... Are you? I am Prince Kordanor of Haven, and I have been sent to help you. Yes, just rise. I need information, Chief. I need the portal back to Sharon's palace. Please direct me to it now. There's a long silence. There's a portal here. It has never been powered and opened as far as I know. We can use it to talk to our masters, but not travel. You want to report back, yes? To let them know how close to a total loss our colony is. I plan to leave as soon as possible and not come back. I'm here to investigate. Then I will decide what to do. Yes, it's the Queen's order that this colony be reclaimed. I plan to leave as soon as possible and not come back. Really? I expected different. I'm sorry, Prince. It is not for me to judge. She is deeply shaken. Follow me to my office. I will tell you anything you want to know. Gossip of all you do will spread around the colony and finds its way back to the Queen. For example, what you just said will make Heavenites trust you less. Your words will affect how other characters treat you. She rises, turns, and enters the main hall. Select the doors to enter the building. And first we will end the combat. So there were always like two things springing out of the of a dead opponent. Like it looked like there was a shield. And now we have buy buildings and shops, place buildings, shops, edit party. Edit party. You haven't been giving soldiers to recruit yet. Use item, see inventory. Okay. Then we have the journal, quest log. Now that you are stranded in Sacramento, you need to find a way home. You have no idea how. Current quests. There we can just save something and we've seen dialogues. That's the map of the kingdom we have to reclaim. We're in the center. Lots of different towns as it seems. Great Port. Akala, Shinde, Homeworn. Okay. And yeah, let's go in there. The sign says Fort Haven headquarters. Fort Haven. This building is old and worn. It may be the very first structure of Haven's colony in Sacramento. Interesting trivia for the historians. The portal chamber is to the left. You see Chief Miranda waiting in her office to the right. Best of all, your butler, Stonehouse, is waiting by the stairs. He was sent ahead of you. At least you will have some comfort while you're here. To leave the building, select the doors behind you. To go upstairs, select the stairway. Among all the miseries of being sent to Sacramento, there's one bright spot. Stonehouse, your butler, since you were a small child, has been sent to look after you. He looks as mournful as always. Hello, young prince. As always, I await your command. Stonehouse? You came with me. I'm so glad. Stonehouse, you should not be here. It's too dangerous. Stonehouse, where have you been? My clothes are filthy. Let's take this one. You should not be. It's too dangerous. Oh, I quite agree. When he flung me through the portal, your brother assured me that you would look after me if you had the time. My brother wants me to save this colony. I refuse! Of course, Prince. We can always just hide in this fort and wait for the Queen to relent. I have always longed to die of old age in a place like this. Any messages for me? Not at the moment. I have a job for you. Your mother sent me to tend to your needs. There's a certain image Haven's envoys need to project when dealing with our vassals. How may I be of service? I've had a hard journey. I need a refreshing beverage. My armor and weapons must be polished. I need my clothes cleaned and pressed. My hair's unsightly. I need a trim. I have a hard journey. I need refreshing beverage. Stonehouse uses his almost supernaturally ability to determine the exact beverage and precise alcohol level you require to operate at the required efficiency. You soon have a nice drink in hand. My armor and weapons must be polished. Yes, butchering rebels and malcontents does tend to scruff the patina. It will be done. I need my clothes cleaned and pressed. I would never do otherwise. I will make sure that each wrinkle and stain is an affront to me and my ancestors. My hair is unsightly. I need a trim. Stonehouse produces a pair of scissors and a towel from somewhere in his pockets. He sets you up on a chair by the wall and, with a series of fast, efficient motions, makes you entirely presentable. That's all I need. I will keep everything in order. I need some information. You have always used Stonehouse as a conduit to find out what your family and the lower classes are thinking. You can get a variety of information from him. Are we making progress bringing civilization to this backwater? Not yet. Right now I am still assembling the basic cleaning supplies. I don't want you to die of cholera before we have the chance to save Haven. What does my mother think of me? I am unable to determine either way. You have not acted decisively for or against the interest of Haven. What do the people of Sacramento think of me? I'm unable to determine either way. You have not acted particularly kind or particularly cruel. How am I progressing in reclaiming this colony? Your work has barely begun. You should speak with Chief Miranda and learn how to rebuild this fort. This is all. Come check in with me again later. I am sure I will have more to tell you as events develop. That's all then. Then I will wait here until you return. Miranda gestures for you to enter. I am sorry to be eager, Prince. This is a day of great events. Before we killed them, the deserters told me something. You will need to know about it, I think. That's all nichts. There's nothing what we can use. Miranda invites you to sit in her least dirty chair. Stonehouse enters and prepares tea as you speak. As I said, the brigands told me something before the stabbing. Some news. Glorious news. For someone who just slaughtered 2 thugs, she's in a good mood. Chief here clearly tends to optimism. Are you alone here? Not entirely. There are a few warriors left in Fort Haven. It's just that none of them are in the fort right now. I'm sort of glad you arrived when you did. There are things I need to know. Of course, I will help if I can. I need to go home. How do I do this? Usually we take boats, but you need the Queen's permission, and it is a long journey. You could also restore the home. Sage Harlan upstairs can tell you more. Where is everybody? This fort is ruined. Gone. Fled. When the land soared and the nations of this land turned against us, many took ships home. Others built their own forts and looked after themselves. Others deserted and became brigands. Now that you are here, all this will be put to right. Describe the resource available to me. The resources. Right now, nothing. We don't even have the wood and stone needed to rebuild our fort. I am hoping the ships that just arrived will provide what we need. That is all I need to know for now. Okay, so we have these ships with additional resources. That will be interesting. I hope I helped. Back to the mission then. I guess we will have some like starting decisions to make so that we know what's going on here. What is the new news? Ships. At last, 3 boats have come from Haven. They wait just offshore at Great Port to the north. They can't land, alas. The brigands have taken the port, and they have siege weaponry pointed out to the sea. Wait, they arrived today? How long does it take for a boat to get here from Haven? About 3 months, with good weather. 3 months? Is that how long your mother has been planning to send you here? What is on these ships? I don't know, but I dream. Warriors, wood and stone, alchemists and artisans, everything we need to make this a proper colony again. Why don't they land at another port? There is no other friendly port. The Ukatish, the Vol and the Achiel are pushing us out. We need some of the force of Haven to get them to obey the treaties again. I sense you want something from me. Before our ships can land, Great Port must be retaken. Difficult by sea, easy from land. Do that, and we can begin restoring the colony and reclaiming Sacramentum. And then we can escape, Stonehouse mutters quietly. If I am to retake Great Port, I will need warriors. Of course, I have only 3 left, but they are all that at your disposal. You're taking them will leave us undefended for a time. Marvelous, says Stonehouse. It is a necessary risk. Only 3 warriors? Oh, Prince, we have had a very hard time of it here the last few years. Now that you have returned enough, though, we might be able to recruit more. End this conversation to learn how to recruit warriors and form your party. To edit your party, press this button. Press to add remove party characters. Press to make new characters. You will want to recruit 3 or other characters to go with you on your adventure. Press the edit party button. Press the check mark on the right of a character to add it to your group. You can also make new characters for your roster. If you build a fort in another nation, you will be able to recruit characters from there. These will have new special abilities. That's interesting. So we only have 1 like major character. Also, yeah, okay. We only have 1 major character and all the other ones are basically like henchmen. Espeth, Terrence, Patricia. Edit character, delete character. Heaven Knight. Create character, add to party. What happens if you click on create character? Ah, okay. What nation would you like your new character to be from? Haven Soldier, a warrior of Haven, loyal and skilled, but with no extra special abilities. A warrior of the Ukat has special abilities that let you inflict bleeding on your enemies. Vol, a warrior from the Vol has special abilities that protect a group from enemy attacks. And Ariel, a warrior from the woods of the Ariel, has special abilities that charm your enemies and liberate you from the mental control of enemies. Haven Soldier. Okay, so we are basically just setting like what they look like. Hans. Body. Face. Hairstyle. That's a bit creepy. Hair color. Let's build an old witch. Can we do that? Extra details. Do we have scars? Yeah, but not that. Okay. Though with these shoulders. Okay, I think she's she doesn't have anything at maybe shouldn't be called Hans then. Gretel. Okay. Now we take her to the party, add to party. Yeah, let's just add a couple characters. Okay, that was it. Now what? He also has this terrible smile. Okay, so they are predetermined. See character skills. Magic, support. So he has like this curing and healing. He has no cultural stuff. And this one is the same for all the characters. So the choices are always the same. And we need to select which abilities they get, which is very limited. And now with fresh characters, we can decide on our own what we want to have. But why? Okay, so there. It starts from the bottom and then goes upwards, as it seems. So we have to start with this, and then we can choose the ones above. And as soon as we spend at least one skill point in this tier to get this bonus. I see. So I think here we could at some point we could see how many hit points we have. No. That's a bit strange. I have 25 hit points. But we don't have hit points in this view. Which is a bit weird and should be there. So we get 2 health and can use tier 1 armor and weapons. So we can make, I mean, she's a witch, right? So we need to have some energy, spell stuff, or support. Let's see what we have here. Shock. Gain your ability. Inflicts strong magical damage on one foe. Inflicts terror on a single foe, causing her to flee. That's what we want with the witch. And now she has +1 energy and can use tier 1 arcane items. Magery. Always active. Gives a 20% bonus to all healing, blessings, and curses you cause. Okay. Can uncheck that again. So we need 2 of the bottom tier to unlock one of the higher tiers. Can we take 2 of these? The second terror lasts 1 turn longer. Okay. Cold Bones. Summons a skeleton to fight for you. The space you select. Weakness. Inflicts a weakness on the target's circular area, reducing their damage. Icy Wave. We make a skeleton thing. What was here? Healing. Inspiring Cry. Hide in Shadows. Teleport. Speed. Curing. Okay, now she's more of a necromancer than anything else, but yeah, it's fine. So she is... she's like a damage mage. Okay. And he's a supporter, and we are basically the main melee fighter then. Okay. So let's look around further here and also talk to the mage. Well, you found the portal home. That's the good news. The portal home. That's the good news. The bad news is that it's closed. When you get close to the ruined stone doors, your hair stands up end. You can hear whispers. However, it doesn't open. You can use it to speak to people back home, if they listen. You won't be able to use it to get home until it is restored. Stonehouse will tell you when you can use the portal to talk to someone. Visit frequently. You can eventually restore it when you learn how to improve the fort. You walk up to the portal, nothing happens. You give it a good kick, nothing happens. Sometimes someone in Sharon's palace will use this portal to communicate with you. Nobody is at the other end right now. Come back later. Let's talk to this mage guy. or whatever he was. Stonehouse has set up this bedroom for you. It's crude, but it's clean. You make a noble effort to look for good qualities. You fail. It's terrible here. If you want to make time go forward quickly, use your bed. And we have a chest here. Ah, okay. So we have some place to store stuff. These characters don't have anything. Also very interesting is that we don't have like traditional character attributes as it seems. So there is no strength or whatever, strength, dexterity, intelligence, which were kind of arbitrary to begin with. But instead we have just like these spell damage and so these this consequence values, let's call them. Iron shortblade. Yeah, okay. This guy already has some equipment. Yeah, I mean that's the advantage of these pre-built characters, that they are already equipped with some stuff, which I mean they cannot know for the new created characters. Leather vest has an absorbs 60% damage, up to 4 physical, 2 magical. So that's better than that one. And now we have a bigger pack, right? We didn't have that much before. Leather cap. Orb. It's arcane gear. A crude bow. Let's take the bow. Bronze spear. Iron short blade. I'm not sure what these like 7 means. Maybe it's a weapon of level 7 and this is only level 4. I mean this is two-handed. So and she can use this orb thing. Oh, it's an offhand item, yeah. Absorbs 50% damage up to 2 physical. Okay. That's weird. So that's a really powerful shield then. This also absorbs 60%. Like this. This is just a dagger. So what does this one have? 6. And why is this red? Ah, if you haven't built enough smithies to maintain it. Interesting. So let's take the sword. And she has an oak wand. Magical damage. But not a lot. Okay. So let's just sleep for a moment. You awake from a long restful sleep in the closest thing you have to home here. You find a note by the bed. Stonehouse has been working to get a ding polished out of your weapon. Curse the brigand whose skull left that mark. What's here? This is a workshop where the fort does business and keeps records. There are a few books on pedestals. At least there is some civilization in this ruin. A sage dressed in tattered and unfashionable robes goes about his business. He hasn't noticed you yet. He might be helpful if for nothing else than activating the portal to get home. Sage Harlan. You meet one of the many sages of Haven, who gather knowledge about all of your lands and vassal states. Usually, they reside in colleges or cities, not in dirty, besieged forts like this one. He recognizes you the moment he sees you. He gives you a grand, deep kneel. Welcome to this unhappy fort, Prince. I'm Sage Harlan. All of my knowledge is at your disposal. The Queen demands that this colony be restored. I want to know about the 3 nations of Sacramentum. I need to use the portal home immediately. I see. I hope that you can make it home. Our humble problems and impending disaster should not concern royalty such as yourself. However, we lack the resources to activate the portal to rebuild our ability to gather them. You should talk to Chief Miranda downstairs. I need rest and equipment. As soon as your butler arrived, we arranged the best possible quarters for you. They are across the hall. You can rest in your bed. Some weaponry and other equipment was left in your chest. I want to know about the 3 nations of Sacramentum. I know much and can guide you well. However, we lack the strength to help you deal with those powers. To regain what we have lost, you may need to talk to Chief Miranda downstairs. The Queen demands that this colony be restored. I am relieved to hear it. We have been balanced for some time on the edge of a total destruction. If you would help us, I suggest talking to Chief Miranda downstairs. There is an urgent situation to attend to. And we have some pedestals. The Empire of Haven. Okay, I'm not going to read that now. We are also at about an hour now, and yeah, I want to maybe get out of this now before I call it a day for now. Miranda leans forward, shaking with excitement. It's fair. Your rival is the first bit of hope she certainly is. Alright, I have enlisted help. What now? So, I see the time to strike is now, while Cloaker and his thugs are unready. There are things I need to know. How do I find this Cloaker? Leave this fort, go north to the Great Port, destroy Cloaker and his brigands. Then our ships can land safely. We need to make the way safe for them. We can't afford to lose a single ship. I could use better equipment. Look in the chest, in your chambers upstairs. I think you might be able to find something of value. Why aren't you coming? I am a chief. I am trained more for planning and engineering than fighting. When we get stone, I can help to turn it into stronger walls. I promise I can be more useful to you here. You know that when the conversation turns to heroism, Stonehouse always finds some reason to be out of the room. Why is it called Greatport? Don't know. Haven always names stuff grandly. Makes us seem more impressive. How should I deal with the brigands there? They have tormented me for years. I hate them. I recommend stabbing. That's all for now. Thanks. Okay. Now let's just run around here for a bit. See, so these are all like empty plots we can use for like new houses and stuff. Maybe shops. What's there? Okay. No, but I would say that I can get used to this engine. I mean, it might look a bit cheap on the first look, and I mean, also on the second, but it feels okay. This, like, I mean, it's a bit weird that this character only has, like, this diagonal stances, but having this in not in isometric makes it a bit easier in some regards for orientation. Which maybe sounds a bit odd, but if you played the previous games, you maybe know what I mean. Ah, okay, so we are not just like in let's say Baldur's Gate, where you have like a map and you click on different nodes on the map to instant travel to the location, to the mines or to the other city or what. But instead you have a real world to run around in, which is really cool, I think. You emerge from Fort Haven and surely the countryside. Survey the countryside. You see heavenish farmhouses and fields of crops. It seems alright at first, but the crops are patchy and sickly. The farmers move around nervously, ready to be attacked by bandits at any moment. The people of Haven always put up a brave front, but the subtle details tell you that this colony is in great peril. To the north, you see a great bay. The docks are barely visible. That is this colony's gateway to the rest of the world. You need to control it. Okay, this is our party. Can we visit this house? No, it's also not highlighting. I mean, it's not that much zoomed out as it's in Avernum. So, yeah, if you played the previous games, I mean, in Avernum, you basically have this look as well. It's a bit more zoomed out. So, I would say the party is even smaller, or like one of this square is a city, and yeah, I mean, the party is displayed like the same size, otherwise it would be really tiny, but the proportions are different. So yeah, this is rather big for that. But yeah, Avernum also has like this overworld you can rumble around, and Abaddon has like this Baldur's Gate style movement where you don't have real movement, but instead maybe we should like move towards one of these groups. Let's see what they are. We cannot click on These Heaven Knights are terrified when you approach. Then they see your fine clothes. Recognize the insignia on your breast. Then kneel. Yeah, that's what I mentioned in the beginning. That this insignia is like the game shows, okay, this is the thing, and this is why people will recognize you. Or the story is also really straightforward. It's not like at some point you wake up and then after 10 hours of gameplay you find out what you're actually doing. No, it's straight to the point. Okay, you're a spoiled brat, you're sent somewhere, this is your job to do. And this is a really like straightforward thing. You have the goal of the whole thing, you have it in front of you, you know what you're doing. And then the details in the story is like how it's fleshed out, how the little things are playing out. But the main plot is really clear, which to me is it's really enjoyable. These Heaven Knights are terrified when you approach. See your fine clothes, blah blah. Oh Prince, you have returned to us at last. This colony has suffered much. Will you save us? Tell me more about what has been happening. You question the farmers. You don't learn much. The ground is sickly and produces few crops. The port to the north was lost. Bandits are everywhere. They are afraid of losing everything. They are very happy you are here. I will do all I can for Haven's people. The farmers are painfully grateful. They ask in your radiance when you move on, and bask in your radiance. Then you move on, and they return eagerly to work. Okay, now let's move. Let's check the map. Fort Haven. Resources produced. Okay. I don't know like what this actually means. Let's go back into place buildings and shops. Yeah, buildings, shops, edit part use item. I mean, I don't see any resources gathered, so I don't know what this actually means. And like, we don't have a time frame. We don't have anything like this is day 1 of whatever. This looked like brigands, like a random combat. Several shabby armed warriors are stalking this road, looking for prey. You can tell they aren't heaven soldiers from a long way away. They approach. Their arrogance fades the moment they see the insignia on your chest. Oh, we are just travelers. We are letting you by now. What are you doing here? We are watching for brigands. Terrible scum. The brigands robbing people on the roads. Just terrible. We are keeping them away until heaven comes back. And, here you are. So we'll be going now. I don't like brigands on my roads. Draw weapons. The brigands consider running. Then they realize that they will still outnumber you. They decide to get rich stripping your body instead. Okay. Active. Okay, maybe not. Let's not do that one for now. Just run around. So this is the harbor already. Maybe do a fight here. To the north you see Great Port on the Bamareth Sea. This is Haven's main port, the only one on Sacramento it fully controls. It is the choke point for all trade with the rest of Haven. It is the lifetime for your people here, a lifeline. It has fallen. It is a sad testimony to how far your colonies have fallen here. That it has been taken over by brigands. If you can't reclaim it, you will have no chance of success in these lands. Well, let's take another look on the map. So this was the distance, so it's not huge. But I mean, that also depends on, yeah, like how these zones are designed. You approach Great Port, the main docks controlled by Haven. This is where supplies and goods can be shipped in and out of Sacramentum without interference from the vassal states. There are no Haven soldiers in sight. A tall stone customs hall is next to the docks. Most of the brigands are probably hiding in there. To use an ability, press this, use an ability, choose this item, then select the ability item to choose. Yeah, okay. To retake Greatport, your characters will need to use the abilities. All of your characters have abilities. To use an ability, press the use ability button and choose. Using an ability costs energy. Every few foes you kill restores 1 energy. You get back all of your energy. Return to a Haven fort. Okay. Spiders! Okay. So he has healing, curing, inspiring cry. Blesses all allies within 6 spaces for 4 turns. This one was a mage. Oh, but it's melee. No, it's not. Weakness resisted. But we couldn't see the range, right? And this is my skeleton warrior. Usability. Call bones. Oof. I should have used the ability there, then maybe the spider would have been dead. Ability, inspiring cry, curing, healing. Or just let's punch this one. Yeah. And there she can, yeah, we cannot see. I think we can see what she can attack by looking at where she's. I mean, this is very small area, but I think in previous games you could see by looking at what path she's going, how far she can shoot. So as far as she doesn't run, she will be able to hit it without running. And yeah, she is at the moment good for nothing. Terror inflicts terror on a single foe, causing it to flee. Terror! Here. That didn't work well. That neither. Ah no, that was my skeleton which attacked. Bam. Can we summon more skeletons than one? Nope. Then just do nothing. Can we do nothing? Yeah, just press spacebar. Now with this, now we can see like we move 2 steps. We move into this area of what's it called? Opportunity stuff. So if we move in there and move out, we would get hit by enemy. Okay. Combat's over. Silver bar. Yeah. Some equipment. I think. No, it's one-handed. Silver bar. This is worth money. Take it to gain more gold. Okay, so this is just gold. And this one. We cannot put something into the box. We just give it over that way. Okay. And save. You pull on the warehouse doors with all your might, but they don't budge. You knock, but nobody answers. Odd. 2 thugs. Okay, then we use the weakness blow. The movement looks a bit odd though. We summon another skeleton. How far does this work? There seems not to be any... too far away. Okay. And... yeah, let's move forward and... Shock inflicts strong magical damage on one foe. 11 to 19. Does magical damage in a cone-shaped area. I mean, we could test if we actually do friendly damage, which I think we do. Yes, we do. Oh, there's more enemies. Then we just summon another skeleton. Okay, he only has like... oh, no. Okay. There's more hit points left. Shock. That was a lot of damage. And let's move north then. 5. Ouch. I mean, that is torment difficulty after all, so... I mean... that has to be taken into consideration. New skeleton! Increasing the damage. Okay. 4. Let's go there. Ice wave. That's at least 2 enemies. Oh, okay, strong. And now we do the whirlwind thing. And... well, she can't do anything now. Okay. Bleh. It's out of range, but can use the bow. Oh, okay, that was strong. Again, some energy. Another thug. 4 large ballistas point out to the sea. Modest but effective defense for the port. No ships will be able to safely land here as long as the port remains under the control of the brigands. Yeah, let's rescue this whole thing. And she can't do anything. Then let's not do anything. And I think 1 hit is enough. Yeah. I mean, this is also rather small. I guess we will have another fight in this house here. And then the harbor is ours. We tried to open the door to the dock barracks, but it's barred from the inside. Perhaps you will have better luck at one of the other doors. We might also want to go back and just, like, fill up the hit points. On the other hand, we have healing spells, right? Curing, healing. Healing. And that's it. Then let's move in. How not to get hit? A tactical guide. Okay. The office was where merchants came to register shipments and pay tariffs. The brigands tore through here looking for wealth, found nothing and left the room behind. This hall also quartered travelers and guards. There are sure to be quarters and kitchens here. The rest of the raiders must be hiding somewhere within. These buttons swap between melee and missile weapons. Your warriors can use bows as well as blades. To make your bow your main attack, select this button to the lower left. Select your main hand weapon to switch back. If you are beaten down or one of your characters falls unconscious, you can return to Fort Haven to heal up and then come back. Entering Fort Haven will restore your party. Okay. Oh, there's nothing. Okay, this is a bit bigger. Couple of... Oh, okay. We should use that one here. Yeah, out of mana basically. And yeah, just smack it. And a buff. New skeleton. And out of mana. I mean, we can still try to just... let's hit that one. Okay, so we can use the whirlwind next time. Let's attack the archer with ranged attack. Yeah. Oh, why is the skeleton moving down? Now the skeleton won't have a great time, but okay. Oh, okay, that's even more than one range. Okay, you need at least, you cannot just punch someone in the face. Interesting. Okay. And there's some stairs to go upwards, I guess. Yeah, okay. No, this is then too much to now also like clear the whole thing. I wanted to keep it rather short, and I actually wanted to keep it below an hour, but that didn't work. But now at least we have seen what like the surrounding is looking like. So we have this world we can travel in, like this. I don't like breaking my roads. Leave, don't come back. We have this like overworld. Yeah, this world we can move around in, which is very cool. And yeah, we get into different zones here. And yeah, we need to then have a look at how the resource management is. Oh, we can also see that like there's a quest, but I think that's also the same thing in Avernum and so on. Yeah, we need to take a look at what the resources are, how this like base building is working. But so far, I think it looks very cool. The engine is a bit odd at first look, but on the other hand, it also makes the perspective makes it more intuitive, and it's also not that bad. And yeah, I mean, as with the games before, I like the writing, and so I'm thrilled to see what further awaits in the game when it launches and when I will start my real Let's Play, which will be in German though. And yeah, I hope I was able to give you a good look around in the game. As mentioned before, if you're interested, check it out on Steam. I think it will be around 20 euros or $20, but I cannot guarantee that. At the moment, there isn't any price, or at least not on Steam directly. Or yeah, put it on your wish list to be notified when it's released, or I think also when like it's on sale or whatever. And yeah, thanks for checking it out and checking this video out. I would also really appreciate if you leave a like or a subscription. A subscription will help me anyways, even if you will never check back this video, actually, never check back on the channel, actually, just because I need the 1000 subscription mark to hit this YouTube minimum of being a YouTube partner, which I don't have, even though I've got over 4000 videos. So yeah, even a subscription, if you don't plan on checking back, will help. I mean, I would even be more happier if you would check back, but regardless, that always helps. So yeah, thanks for checking out and see you next time. Have fun!